Hello, Sumner Academy. It's Dr. Scraggs. I'm here today to talk to you about Power Hour. Power Hour is a concept where students can use part of their lunchtime for free study, AEP time, and additional tutoring from teachers. There is student movement during this time, so I want to talk a little bit more about the specifics of Power Hour. First of all, we are proposing that Power Hour takes place on the following days: December 17th, December 18th, and December 20th, all during finals week. In today's video, we are going to answer the following three questions. Number one, what is Power Hour? Number two, what will my schedule look like during Power Hour? And number three, what are the do's and don'ts of Power Hour? So let's first answer question one. What is Power Hour? Power Hour is an open period that contains AEP, it contains teacher-student tutoring, and it also contains a student-free study time. So what does that free study time look like? Well, it can look like students studying in a classroom, studying on cafeteria tables, studying in parts of the hallway. The building will be open to those students who are on free study. The other opportunities that will be available during Power Hour will be teacher tutoring. Now you have to understand that during lunchtime, our teachers also eat their lunch, and so there will be portions of that time that teachers will be unavailable. There will also be times when teachers are unavailable because they'll be engaged in additional planning time. So what your schedule will look like will be a 25-minute lunch, just the same as always in terms of the amount of time for lunch. Following up with that assigned time for lunch, you'll either have one of the following: either a 25-minute AEP period or a 50-minute free study time. Now, again, I want to say free study time can take place in a lot of different places in the building. And we're going to talk a little bit more about free study in just a few minutes. The one thing I do want to say is on the 17th, 18th, and 20th, all students will start the lunch period in their AEP class before being released to their assigned locations. The second question: what will my schedule during Power Hour look like? On Friday, Mr. Malone will give each of your AEP teachers a card, and those cards will be passed on to you, and they will list your schedule for the day. It will be up to you to make sure that you follow the AEP schedule, the Power Hour schedule, and your lunchtime schedule to the maximum. You want to make sure that you get to the right places at the right times, so we don't have any log jams in lunch lines or you show up to the wrong AEP time. So on that card, you will see listed the following. First, it will show you what time you are to report to lunch. Second, it will show you the time that you are to report to AEP. And remember, there are two AEP times during Power Hour. There is a brief AEP time at the very beginning of the period where everybody meets, and then we follow that up with the regular 25-minute AEP time that'll follow. And then the third thing that'll be listed on your card is going to be your scheduled free study time. Free study time, again, takes place throughout the building. It's student choice. It can take place in hallways as long as we're not in anybody's way. On any of the commons furniture and any of the common areas. It can also take place in classrooms. It can take place in the bleachers of the alumni gym, and it can certainly take place in the library. One of the things that I do want to say about Power Hour and use of space, it's going to be critical. With lots of bodies moving around, and we'll have teachers and administrators supervising in a lot of different places, it's going to be important for students to follow their schedules. This is particularly true when it comes to lunch. Because our cafeteria capacity is limited, we need to make sure that you do report to your scheduled lunchtime only during that time. So for students who maybe bring their lunch or choose not to eat a lunch, you're not required to report to the cafeteria during that time. You can use that for additional free study time. However, you cannot be assigned free study time and then report during your non-cafeteria time. That's when the lines will back up and we'll have problems in the cafeteria. So the third question that we want to answer about Power Hour is, what are the do's and don'ts? Well, the major do's are as follows. 1, make sure that you use the time wisely. Power Hour is designed for students to study. It's designed for students to receive help from teachers. Now, in some instances, your teachers may not be available, those particularly that you want to work with, because they'll be assigned supervision or they'll be in lunch or planning. But if they happen to be in a position where they can support you, whether they're in close proximity to their classroom, you can certainly go see those teachers if you have open time and teachers are available. The second do is to make sure that you go to your lunchtime and AEP time at the assigned times. Those are assigned periods during that period. And then third, what you definitely want to make sure that you do is you want to find opportunities to study, catch up on homework. Certainly it's okay to socialize with your friends. However, this is not a socialization period. We want to make sure that you're using this wisely so that you can get caught up. One of the main reasons why we're looking at a Power Hour schedule and looking at this as possibly something for the future is because we hear from Sumner students and parents all the time about the amount of work that students are faced with and how much time they have to spend and how much time it takes after school. Well, we thought, what if we added some sort of period during the school day that was flexible and fit the needs of students? And that's what Power Hour is. So prove to us that this is a good option by spending that time wisely. Now, I've talked about some things to do. Here are some things that you don't want to do. Number one, please do not use this time period as a video game trials or chat rooms or whatever it is that you might do on your spare time. You need to use this time wisely for academics. Secondly, this is not a time for games or sports. So both gyms are going to be off limits during Power Hour. The only use of the gyms that will be allowed will be the gym bleachers in the alumni gym, and we'll only allow those for students who want to sit there and study. Remember, Power Hour is a study period. It's a time to catch up on academics. It's a time to get tutoring. It is a time to catch up with your friends, but in reasonable measure. And then third, we definitely don't want to see anybody abuse Power Hour time. This would include leaving campus, engaging in anything that goes against the district's code of conduct that would lead to any type of disciplinary infractions. And we're doing Power Hour because we trust all of our students tremendously and know that you guys continually do the right thing, and we want to reward you for doing the right thing. We know that Power Hour will be a great opportunity for students to get some extra support, to have a little bit of downtime during the day, and really to have a bit of a feel of what it might be like between classes on a college campus, because we know that you're all going to college. It's just a matter of what college you want to go to and the things that you want to do. So again, Power Hour will start next week. We're going to run it on a trial basis for 3 days, December 17th, 18th, and 20th. If the trial goes well, look forward to additional opportunities during second semester where we might incorporate Power Hour. And then look for a conversation in February or March where we'll talk about potentially making Power Hour a larger part of the school year for the 2019-2020 school year. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a great day.